More Americans than ever own stocks. About 58% of households owned stocks in 2022, according to a Fed survey. The pandemic and zero commission trading gave rise to an entire generation of investors.
The Suez Canal becomes a new front in Israel-Hamas conflict. Oil giant BP has joined cargo ship owners in diverting vessels from the critical Middle East route after attacks by Yemen's Houthi rebels. Red Sea strikes lift oil prices. Migrant surge overwhelms border agents. Guided by smugglers, people are crossing into sparsely populated parts of Arizona and California, posing a challenge to immigration officials. America had quiet quitting. In China, young people are letting it rot. Demoralized by a weak economy and unfulfilling jobs, young Chinese are dropping out, exploring spirituality, and becoming more rebellious, presenting new challenges for Beijing. This bonus season, it's better to be a lawyer than banker. Surveys point to smaller, fewer year-end payouts. Some bright spots: law and accounting. Fed official: 2024 rate cuts could be needed to prevent over-tightening. The central bank must make sure we don't give people price stability, but take away jobs, said San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly.
Stocks extend rally on rate cut hopes.
Nikola founder gets 4 years in prison for fraud conviction. Trevor Milton was convicted on fraud charges last year for lying to investors in Nikola, the electric truck company he started. Apple to halt watch sales as it prepares to comply with U.S. import ban. The ban stems from a federal trade ruling over a blood oxygen sensor on some versions of the device.
Nippon Steel to acquire U.S. Steel for $14.1 billion. The deal would give the Japanese steel giant a major role in U.S. steelmaking. Shares of U.S. Steel surged more than 25%.
Adobe Figma scrap $20 billion deal. Home buyers want to buy, but sellers aren't selling. Owners are feeling too fond of the low interest rates on their existing mortgages.
Rents push inflation fight to the finish line.
Vatican issues guidelines for same-sex blessings. Declaration confirms Pope Francis's recent statement allowing blessings of same-sex relationships.
1. Apps TikTok rolls out an enhanced app experience for tablets and foldables. Good news. TikTok has rolled out an update to enhance the app experience for viewers on tablets and foldable devices, optimizing it for larger screens. 2. Flipboard becomes a federated app with support for ActivityPub. Good news. Flipboard has joined the decentralized social web by adding support for the networking protocol ActivityPub, similar to other apps like Mastodon, promoting a more open and federated social media experience.
3. U.S. lawmakers call for DOJ to investigate Apple for blocking Beeper's iMessage app. Bad news. Apple's decision to cut off Beeper has raised concerns of anti-competitive behavior, catching the attention of U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, who has called for an investigation into the tech giant.
4. Apple experiments to let developers offer discount bundles on subscriptions. Good news. Apple is experimenting with a feature on the App Store that allows developers to offer discounted bundles on subscriptions, providing more flexibility and value for users.
5. Apple agrees to pay out $25 million to settle lawsuit over family sharing. Bad news. Apple has settled a class action lawsuit by agreeing to pay $25 million over its family sharing feature, indicating that there were potential issues or concerns with the functionality. OpenAI is expanding its safety processes and creating a safety advisory group to mitigate the risks of harmful AI. This is good news as it shows the company's commitment to ensuring the responsible and ethical development of AI technology.
Meltwater, a media monitoring startup, secured a $65 million investment from Verdane. This is good news for Meltwater as it indicates investor confidence in the company's potential and growth prospects.
IBM is acquiring data integration assets from Software AG for $2.3 billion. This can be seen as both good and bad news. It is positive for IBM as it strengthens its data integration capabilities. However, it could be seen as bad news for Software AG as they are parting with assets, potentially indicating a shift in their business strategy.
Robotics Q&A with UC Berkeley's Ken Goldberg is neutral news as it simply provides insights and discussions in the field of robotics.
Grimes voiced a character for Curio's AI plushies, but it is clarified that the toy is not affiliated with the AI chatbot. This is neutral news, as it simply informs about Grimes's involvement in the toy business.
Illumina has received bad news as it has lost a long antitrust battle. As a result, the company has announced its intention to divest Grail. This means that Illumina will either sell Grail through a third-party sale or undergo a capital markets transaction.
Bristol-Myers Squibb has announced that they will be ending a trial for their colorectal cancer candidate, Opdualag combination. This decision comes after the company concluded that the trial would not meet its primary endpoint.
Pivotal BioVenture Partners has announced the successful raising of $389 million for their second fund. This brings the firm's total capital to $689 million, which they plan to invest in young biotech companies working on groundbreaking therapeutics.
Structure Therapeutics, a pharmaceutical company, has recently announced positive results for their GLP-1 based drug in a Phase 2 clinical trial. The drug has shown efficacy in treating the targeted condition, presenting a significant advancement in medical research. However, despite this good news, the company's stock value has suffered a decline, leading to concerns among investors on Wall Street. Oncologists defend CART after FDA advisory. Experts in the field of oncology are speaking out in support of CART cell therapies, despite recent reports of secondary blood cancers in some patients. The FDA has launched an investigation into these cases, but many specialists argue that the benefits of CART therapy outweigh the potential risks. They emphasize that these therapies are often used as a last resort for patients with terminal cancers, where the chances of survival are slim. While acknowledging the importance of monitoring and managing side effects, oncologists maintain that CART therapy continues to be a valuable treatment option for those in dire need.
Moderna's vaccine facility has received some negative news as the FDA has found quality control problems. This raises concerns about the safety and effectiveness of their vaccine, Spikevax. However, there is a silver lining, as there is currently no evidence suggesting that these lapses have resulted in harm to patients who have received the vaccine or to clinical trial participants who received investigational shots.
Cell therapy market experts believe that both autologous, using a patient's own cells, and allogeneic, using donor cells, treatments have a place in the booming market for CAR T-cell therapies. This is because biopharma companies are investing heavily in these therapies, creating an increased demand. Autologous therapies involve collecting a patient's own cells, modifying them in a lab to enhance their ability to fight cancer, and then reintroducing them back into the patient's body. Allogeneic therapies, on the other hand, utilize donor cells that have been engineered to carry specific anti-cancer properties. The idea is that allogeneic therapies could offer a standardized and readily available treatment option, while autologous therapies might be more tailored to each patient's unique needs. As the cell therapy market continues to expand, there is room for both approaches to thrive. FDA has a good news because they will release 5 regulatory verdicts over the next 2 weeks.
FDA has given a favorable decision for the combination of Keytruda and Padcev, granting it a second approval. This news is good because it means that this combination therapy has shown promising results in clinical trials and is now approved for use in patients. Keytruda is a type of immunotherapy drug that works by boosting the immune system's ability to fight cancer cells. Padcev, on the other hand, is a targeted therapy that specifically targets cancer cells. When used together, these two drugs can potentially provide a more effective treatment option for certain types of cancer. This decision by the FDA offers hope for patients and healthcare providers as they now have another treatment option to consider.
GC Biopharma has good news as they announced that the US FDA has granted approval for their drug Alleglo, immune globulin intravenous, human step 10% liquid. This drug is specifically developed for the treatment of adults aged 17 years and older who have primary humoral immunodeficiency PI. This approval means that Alleglo can now be prescribed and used as a treatment option for individuals with this condition.
Apple will be halting sales of its Series 9 smartwatch due to a patent dispute. This is bad news for Apple as it will impact their sales and market presence in the smartwatch industry.
Valley investors are working to reduce methane emissions from cows. This is considered good news, as it shows a proactive effort to address environmental issues and reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
Cogita, a wholesale marketplace for retailers, has raised $86 million in a Series B round. This is good news for Cogita, as it signifies investor confidence in their business model and potential for growth.
Machine learning is expected to improve contamination detection in food factories. This is good news, as it will enhance food safety standards and reduce the risk of illness due to contamination.
Strava has appointed a new CEO, Michael Martin. This news indicates stability and leadership for the company.
Clothing influencer shopping app LTK adds creator product reviews in its latest update. Good news for Clothing Influencer as they enhance their app with creator product reviews, which can increase trust and engagement among users.
Lyft follows Uber's lead and removes its mask mandate. Bad news for Lyft as they remove their mask mandate, which may raise concerns about the safety and health of riders and drivers during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic.
Amazon expands its custom-fit clothing service Made for You with athletic tees. Good news for Amazon as they expand their custom-fit clothing service, offering more options to shoppers and potentially increasing sales.
Walmart launches AI-powered virtual clothing, try-on technology for online shoppers. Good news for Walmart as they introduce virtual try-on technology, enhancing the online shopping experience and reducing the need for returns.
Pair Eyewear focuses on adult glasses as it takes in $60 million. Good news for Pair Eyewear as they receive significant funding, indicating a positive growth trajectory in the direct-to-consumer eyewear market. Jumia discontinues its food delivery service, Jumia Food, due to intense competition from aggressive rivals. This is bad news for Jumia, as it signifies that their food delivery business was not performing well and was not aligned with their current operations. Bolt confirms another round of layoffs, indicating ongoing downsizing efforts. This is bad news for Bolt, as it suggests that the company is facing difficulties and needing to reduce its workforce.
Temu files a lawsuit against Shein, making serious allegations about the company's business practices. This is bad news for Shein, as it tarnishes their reputation and portrays their practices in a negative light.
Cogita raises $86 million in a Series B funding round to compete with Anchor Store in Europe. This is good news for Cogita as it indicates investor confidence and provides them with the necessary funds to expand their business and compete effectively.
Udaan secures $340 million in funding, one of the largest financing rounds for an Indian B2B e-commerce startup. This is good news for Udaan as it demonstrates investor interest and support, enabling the company to further grow and develop their business.
Crypto Robinhood is doing research to understand what customers want and are missing in the crypto space, indicating good news as they are actively working to improve their platform for users. A survey reveals that about 70% of founders are optimistic about the opportunities for crypto startups in 2024, suggesting good news for the crypto industry.
There have been crypto hacks and chaos during the holiday season, indicating bad news as hackers are still active and causing disruptions in the crypto space.
The hacking of Ledger's crypto protocol used by multiple Web3 applications and services is bad news as it compromises the security and privacy of users.
Lolly, a Bitcoin and cashback rewards application, raising an $8 million Series B round, is good news as it indicates growth and expansion for the company.
The Fed official has a good news. Rate cuts could be needed next year to prevent over-tightening, according to San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly.
The Eurozone has a bad news. Economic activity in the Eurozone has contracted for the 7th month in a row, at a stronger pace than in November, due to weakening demand and a gloomy economic outlook.
China's economy has a bad news. Investment and consumer spending expanded slower than expected last month, leading to calls for policymakers to do more to support growth.
The numbers have a surprisingly good news. Life expectancy is still going up despite reports of falling lifespans. The statistic used doesn't accurately reflect what will likely happen in the coming decades.
The Fed official has a good news. Rate cuts could be needed next year to prevent over-tightening, according to San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly.
The era of big taxes is upon us. Debt is more expensive, and rich countries are turning to voters and businesses to pay for rising spending needs.
One Fashion Off Script launches an app to create and buy AI-designed fashion. Good news, as it introduces a new platform that utilizes AI technology to design fashion, offering unique and innovative products to consumers.
2. The circular economy promises to remake retail. Why is it so hard to trust? Unclear. No specific company is mentioned, so it's difficult to determine if it's good or bad news.
3. Coach's knitwear supplier bets $1 million on Jelly Bean's fashion prediction tech. Good news, as it indicates a collaboration between a well-known fashion brand and a technology company, potentially leading to advancements in fashion design.
4. Peer-to-peer fashion rental marketplace Pickle picks up $8 million. Good news, as it signals growth and expansion for the fashion rental industry, providing more options for consumers and potential opportunities for passive income.
5. Boys Club co-founders want crypto skeptics to see it as a tool, not just a vehicle for finance or investments. Good news, as it promotes the utilization of cryptocurrency beyond financial transactions, potentially opening up new opportunities in the fashion industry. The market has good news. Stocks continue to rally on hopes of interest rate cuts. Fintech Saudi Shopping and BNPL platform, Tamara has raised $340 million in a Series C funding round, valuing the company at $1 billion. This is good news for Tamara, as it indicates investor confidence and a strong market position.
Opendoor co-founder Eric Wu is stepping down from the company, signaling a change in leadership. This could be seen as a negative development for Opendoor, as Wu's departure may impact the company's growth and direction. One-click checkout company Bolt has confirmed another round of layoffs. This is bad news for Bolt, suggesting potential challenges or restructuring within the company. Credit Karma co-founder Nicole Mustard is leaving the company after more than 16 years. This could be seen as a negative development for Credit Karma, as Mustard's departure may impact the company's strategy and operations.
Prevue's home sale process gives credit to home buyers with cashback rebates. This is a positive development for Prevue, as it provides an innovative solution to the traditional real estate agent model and offers value to home buyers.
Olay, an on-demand fashion app, recently closed a $1.5 million funding round. This is good news for the company, as it shows investor confidence and provides financial support for their operations.
Psyche, a Web3 platform, will serve as an incubator, marketplace, and social community for the next generation of fashion designers and consumers. This is good news, as it indicates a strong ecosystem for innovation and collaboration in the fashion industry. Farfetch, a luxury fashion marketplace, had a successful first day of trading on the NYSE, with its stock closing up 42%. This is good news for the company, as it demonstrates positive market reception and potential for growth.
Zalando, a luxury goods and fashion portal, launched Emeza, a new online property. While there is no specific mention of good or bad news, the rollout of new online properties suggests continued expansion and investment in the company's e-commerce empire.
Snowflake acquires Samoa, a startup developing a data collaboration suite. Good news for Snowflake, as this acquisition expands their capabilities in data cleanrooms. The breakup between Adobe and Figma is not indicative of future startup acquisitions. No specific company mentioned, so no specific news. TechCrunch Early Stage 2024 will feature Engine Accelerator, Y Combinator, Glasswing Ventures, and more. No specific company mentioned, so no specific news. Meltwater receives a $65 million investment from Verdane. Good news for Meltwater, as this investment will support their growth in media monitoring and business intelligence.
May Mobility launches a driverless microtransit service in partnership with Via. Good news for May Mobility, as this milestone brings them closer to profitability.
1. The Adobe Figma breakup isn't a signal of what's to come for startup M&A. This news is good for startup M&A, as it suggests that the breakup between Adobe and Figma is not indicative of a trend in future startup acquisitions. 2. VC office hours, unlocking LPs in a bear market. This news is good as it highlights the success of Gail Wilkinson in closing a $23.4 million fund after 2 years of raising, and she shares her advice for unlocking limited partners, LPs, in a challenging market.
3. Meltwater gets a $65 million investment from Verdane. This news is good for Meltwater as it indicates that they have secured a $65 million investment from Verdane, which will likely provide them with the necessary resources for growth and expansion.
4. FinTech's wild ride in 2023. This news does not specifically mention any company. It is a summary of the previous week's hottest FinTech news, so it does not provide a clear positive or negative outlook for any specific company.
5. Democracies are fragile and hardware is hard. This news does not specifically mention any company. It emphasizes the importance of technology in addressing the fragility of democracies, but also highlights the challenges of crowdfunding for innovative products.